Dear students, welcome to the lecture session Module 4 Part 3. So already I have discussed the induction motor drives. So Part 1 and Part 2 I have completed this all syllabus. Okay, what it is there in slide. Now today, before going to the today's sequence of presentation, so let us bore you on the Module 4. It is a continuation of Module 4, the synchronous motor drives. So under this synchronous motor drives, the syllabus as follows: operation from fixed frequency supply, starting synchronous motor variable speed drives, variable frequency control of multiple synchronous motor. Okay, this is the syllabus. So today I am going to discuss the operation from fixed frequency supply starting. So before discussing this fixed frequency supply starting, let us overview on the synchronous motor. So what is synchronous machine? Now I am going to discuss the these are the following. The what is synchronous machine? Construction of synchronous machine. Why is synchronous machine is not self-starting? Operation from fixed frequency supply starting process in synchronous motor. Okay. Today I am going to cover these bits. Okay. So let us begin with the what is synchronous machine. The motor which runs at synchronous speed is known as the synchronous motor. Means here the induction motor, if you are comparing with the synchronous motor with induction motor, so induction motor is a asynchronous motor because always induction motor runs less than the synchronous motor, synchronous speed. I repeat here, the induction motor always runs less than the synchronous speed. Hence, the induction motor is called asynchronous, whereas synchronous machine is the one it runs at synchronous speed. Okay. So the synchronous speed is the constant speed at which motor generates the electromotive force. The synchronous motor is used for converting the electrical energy into mechanical energy. Okay. Let us bore you on the construction. So here the construction as rotor, non-salient and salient. Okay, so this is a non-salient cylindrical rotor because it's cylindrical. Okay, this is a salient pole. Okay, so here the stator slots with rotating field winding. Okay, so now exciting winding is put it here. Okay, exciting winding DC in cylindrical rotor here, and in salient pole it is excitation winding is winded here. Okay, so here the stator is similar in construction that of an induction motor. If you are looking to this here, the construction of the stator is similar to the induction motor. The rotor can be a salient or non-salient pole. The field excitation is provided on the rotor by either permanent or electromagnet with a number of poles equal to the poles of RMF caused by stator. So here the field excitation is provided by the rotor by either permanent or the electromagnets. Okay, so either permanent magnet or the electromagnets with number of poles equal to the poles of the RMF caused by stator. Okay, so this is the another view. Synchronous motor, DC supply is given to the excitation coil, rotor, AC supply to the stator. Okay, and here this rotation, rotating magnetic field. Okay, so AC supply is given, stator, DC supply to the excitation coil, okay, and this is rotor. Okay, so now the next bit I'm going to discuss why is a synchronous machine is not self-starting. So what it will be happens if you are looking to this figure, okay, so when we are exciting AC supply to the stator winding, the rotating magnetic field it will be created, okay, assume that it will be rotating in this direction, assume that it will be rotating in this direction with speed ns 120f by p, ns equal to 120f by p, it will be rotating in this direction, okay. So this is our rotor, okay. Rotor has the pole, okay, which it is the we can say that fixed pole. Rotor has the fixed pole because we are exciting the DC supply. So what it will be happens, the torque fluctuates between positive and negative values, but its average values remains 0. But here, okay, so here what it will be happens, the stator poles are rotating with synchronous speed. If you are looking this sentence, so what it will be happens, it will be rotating in synchronous speed, and they rotate around very fast and interchange their position. So what it will be happens, so the every half cycle the poles are interchanged. Here if you are looking here, say it is in first half cycle and next half cycle, what it will be happens, the stator poles are changed, means interchanged. Assume that two poles here, okay, so interchanged, what it will be happens, whereas in the rotor poles are stationary, they are in the same only. So first what it will be happens in this case, first case you can see here this n and n, so that the both are in same poles, okay, and next half cycle what it will be happens, the stator poles is changed to the s, and whereas in the rotor is remains n only. So what it will be happens here, I will say that I will conclude this is repulsion force and this one is attraction force. So the repulsion force it will be in this direction because n and n, and attraction it will be in the this direction, okay. So what it will be happens, so the rotor cannot rotate with the same angle, okay, due to the inertia the rotor will be not rotating because it will be in the stationary only. So during this force, when it will be some half cycle, it will becomes in repulsion, and another half cycle it will be attraction. So hence what it will be happens, the torque fluctuates between positive and negative values, but its average value remains 0. Hence synchronous motor will not start itself, okay. So I hope it is clear. So this is another one figure I put. So if you are looking here also, so ns and nr, okay, so rotor pole and stator pole. So stator is in this direction and rotor in this, because why means it will be repulsion, okay, here it will be attraction, so that net torque will be, average torque will be remains 0. Hence the motor will be not self start. So now the starting method, next bit I am going to discuss here that how the synchronous motor is started, okay. Here there are two methods, one is called external prime mover and second one is damper winding. First one is external prime mover method of starting, is to use a low power auxiliary motor coupled to the synchronous motor shaft, okay. So here with the help of auxiliary motor, the rotor speed is brought near synchronous speed and then DC field is switched in. This method has very low starting torque. Here if you are looking to this one, so what they are doing, they are using another one motor, it is called pony motor. So what they will do, they will run the, this is another one motor they will use to run this synchronous motor, okay, to the nearer to the synchronous speed. As any the synchronous motor will be, you have to bring to near to the synchronous, and after that you are applying the DC supply, so that the magnetic locking it will be happens and rotor will be rotates. Okay, that I will explain how the rotor will be goes to in the synchronous speed. Okay, so here what it is it one sentence I conclude. The synchronous motor, what you have to do, we have to give a, you have to run the rotor, okay, somehow you have to bring to the near to the synchronous speed. So here what you are doing, another one motor you are using, which it is coupled to this synchronous motor, and you are bringing to the near to the synchronous speed, and after that you are applying the DC supply, DC supply to the excitation coil. So what it will be happens, it will be catch the synchronous speed. Okay, that process is called the pull-in process. I will detail I will explain. Okay, this is the one method to start the synchronous motor. Okay, so another one is the damper winding starting. So what is the meaning of here? Damper winding starting means like a induction motor we are starting here. Okay, I repeat here, like a induction motor we are starting, and we are bringing the rotor to the near to the synchronous speed. Okay, this method is called the damper winding starting. Okay, so here I mentioned one sentence. Okay, here I put one sentence, short circuited squirrel cage winding placed in the pole faces and around the pole shoe of synchronous machine. So it is nothing but what the squirrel cage winding is wounded over this. So when we are exciting the three-phase AC supply to the stator, so the rotor will be rotates as an induction motor. Okay, and it will be goes to the nearer to the synchronous speed. Please note it, it will not reach to the synchronous speed, it will be goes to the nearer to the synchronous speed. Okay, so this is another one view. So if you are looking to this, so this is the damper winding. Okay, it is a closed one. Okay, it will be shorted. Okay, so that it provides it rotates the like an induction motor. Okay, this is the another one figure I put. So here the how the it will be started, I will explain here. The motor starts rotating as an induction motor and sub-synchronous speed. As I mentioned earlier also, the damper winding are used for as an starting, it will be starts rotating as an induction motor and sub-synchronous speed. Then DC supply is given to the field winding. At a particular instant, motor gets pulled into synchronism and starts rotating at synchronous speed. Okay, so once it will be start as a synchronous motor, the rotor will be, now it is rotating in synchronous speed. What will be happens, as a rotor rotates as a synchronous speed, the relative motion between the damper winding and the rotating magnetic field is 0 now. Okay, so what it will be happens, the damper winding, the relative motion between the damper winding and the rotating magnetic field is 0. Hence, when motor is running as a synchronous motor, there cannot be any induced EMF in the damper winding. Okay, I repeat here, there will be a no EMF in the damper winding. Earlier it was there because it is acts as an induction motor. Okay, so once it will be reaches to the synchronous speed, there is a no EMF in the damper winding. So damper winding is active only at start to run the motor as an induction motor at a start. Afterwards, it is out of the circuit. Okay. So here one phenomena that is called magnetic lock. So what is the magnetic lock? So what it will be happens when the motor is started as an induction motor, synchronous motor, and rotor is nearer to the poles of stator poles, because stator pole is ahead because it is rotating in the synchronous speed, and rotor is rotating the less than synchronous speed when it is started as an induction motor, like a induction motor. Okay, so what it will be happens, next you are applying the DC supply, so the poles of the N and S, N of rotor and S of stator, both are locked. Okay, similarly the N of stator and S of rotor is locked. Okay, here and here. So what it will be happens, the magnetic locking is used to say, and rotor will be rotates with synchronous speed. Okay, now the next bit is operation from fixed frequency supply starting. So this is the question usually wish to ask in the previous year question paper. Okay, explain the operation from fixed frequency supply of synchronous motor starting. Okay, so here there are 5 points are there. Please note that I'm going to explain here. Just a moment. Okay, so before going to this method, I will explain here. As when motor is standstill, the frequency is too high for the rotor inertia to allow any change, as already I explained, because in the textbook it will be started from here, so that I put some basic slide so that we will analyze these sentences. Okay, so I repeat here, the textbook what it is given the syllabus, it will be start from here. Okay, so far whatever I discussed, it is required to analyze these points. Okay, so here the first sentence is, when motor is at a standstill, the frequency is too high for the rotor inertia to allow any change in speed. Consequently, motor is not self-starting. As already I clear explained the why the motor is not self-starting, because the poles are repulsion and the attractions it will be occur every half cycle. So due to the high inertia of the rotor, it will be not self-start. Okay, so if the rotor is brought close to the synchronous speed, so now somehow we have to bring to the rotor, rotor to close to the synchronous speed, some starting method, and then field is excited. Okay, so already I discussed that the pony motor also we can use additional one motor which the drives to the synchronous motor to a asynchronous speed. Okay, then afterwards you are applying the DC supply and you are making it to the magnetic locking. Torque assisted by the damper winding torque. Okay, is able to pull the rotor into step with rotating field after a short duration of hunting. Hunting means what? The rotor which it will be cast to the rotating magnetic field. Rotor field is cast to the rotating magnetic field. Okay, after some duration, I mean after some duration of hunting, the machine then works as a synchronous motor. So it will be catch the rotor poles will catch to the stator poles, and magnetic locking it will be occur. The process of pulling rotor into step with the rotating field is called pull-in or synchronization. The process of catch the rotor field will be cast to the stator field. Okay, this process is called the pull-in process. Okay, after some hunting it will be occur. Okay, so here as stated above, the purpose of starting method is bring rotor speed close to the synchronous speed. First we have to bring to the speed of a rotor to the synchronous speed. Okay, one widely used method is to start the synchronous motor as an induction motor. Okay, what it is, we have to start as an induction motor with field unexcited and damper winding serving as a squirrel cage rotor. Already I have discussed that this point. Okay, so damper winding it will be, we are wounded on the rotor so that it will be closed with end rings. Hence what it will be happens, it acts as an induction motor. Okay, so this is the image. Okay, end ring where it is placed here you can see, and squirrel cage winding they are put. Okay, field winding, rotor bars. Okay, okay, so this is the end ring. Okay, and here rotor bars. So here they put the field winding. Okay, this is the salient pole. If you are looking here, it is not in the cylindrical, so that salient pole, rotor. Okay, now this is the following should be noted about the starting method. So few points you need to take the care about when you are starting the synchronous machine. So first one is the starting torque and current can be increased and reduced respectively. I repeat here, the starting torque can be increased or reduced by increasing the damper winding resistance. Okay, so for successful pull-in, the motor speed while running as an induction motor must be close to the synchronous speed. For this, damper winding resistance must be as low as possible. So what it is there, the starting torque we can increase by increasing the damper winding resistance, whereas for successful pull-in means the rotor poles will be synchronizing with the stator poles, so that process is called pull-in. I will explain afterwards how the pull-in process will be occurred. Okay, now just here note it, please note it, that the rotor poles will be cast to the stator poles. Okay, so for such this one it is required the resistance must be low. So further, for damping hunting oscillations, damper winding resistance must be low. So again there will be a contradiction between the high and low resistance. So we have to choose in such a manner that damper winding resistance is chosen to provide a compromise between these 2 points. Okay, so whether it should be a high and low depending upon the starting torque and the oscillations. Okay, for starting torque, if it is high, the damper winding resistance must be high, and whereas the hunting oscillation, so hunting oscillations means what here, the rotor poles, when it will be goes to the catch the stator poles, what it will be happens, there will be a several slip it will be occurs, because what it will be happens, the poles will be alternately, it will be changing. N it was there means then it will becomes S, so that there will be a slip it will be occurs. Slip means it will be slipping the poles, so oscillation you will get. Okay, so here I conclude that the damper winding resistance is chosen to provide a compromise between the contradictory requirements. So second one is during acceleration as an induction motor, because of large number of turns in field winding. So here the field winding is mounted. If you are looking to this figure, the field winding is mounted on rotor. So what it will be happens here during the acceleration as an induction motor. Now I am starting the synchronous machine as an induction motor. Okay, so how I am starting here, the squirrel cage winding over the rotor. Okay, so what it will be happens, as the field winding consists of some large number of turns. Okay, so in field winding induces the voltages, because the rotor is rotating, hence there will be induced EMF in the field winding. So field winding, where it is there, field winding is in the rotor. So if you are looking here, it is there in the rotor. So what it will be happens, when the rotor is rotating, when you are starting as any induction motor, so the winding the induced voltage in the field, so induced voltage in the field winding, I repeat here, the induced voltage in the field winding. Okay, it will be reach thousands volts. So here it is mentioned, if you are looking here, so that much voltage it will be induced because it will be rotating. Okay, so thus over stressing insulation of the windings and increasing the voltage rating of the field supply converter. Okay, So this is undesirable is eliminated because the field winding it is there in the rotor, and when you are starting that time it will be rotates the rotor. So hence it is undesirable. Undesirable is eliminate this uh, voltage generation in the field winding. Okay, so what we have to do here, we are introducing a small resistance to overcome this problem. Small discharge resistance before excitation is applied. So what it is there, when thousands of voltage is available in the field winding and your excitation you are applying, it is not allowed. So what we have to do, we have to go for some alternate some method that discharge the what it will be stored field circuit. So on resistance they are we are going to connect. So its name is called a small discharge resistance before excitation is applied. The discharge resistance permits a circulating current to flow through the field winding. So what it permits? It permits the circulating current to flow through the field winding. Though induced voltage is still present, the actual potential difference between the terminal or between turns is reduced to a safe value. Okay, so this we need to do. And the field closed through a discharge resistance acts somewhat as a cage winding and modifies the starting and pull-in torques. Okay, so here any increase in the field circuit resistance increases the starting torque. It's nothing but what we are adding some resistance to the rotor. So hence what it will be happens, it will be increases the starting. On the other hand, what it will be happens, it decrease in discharge resistance, reduces the potential difference appearing in the field circuit. Okay, so hence the value of discharge resistance is chosen to obtain a compromise between these two contradictory requirements. Third point is DC excitation should not be applied during acceleration. This is a very important, as already I discussed. Okay, DC excitation should not be applied during acceleration as any induction motor, because while it produces no net motoring torque, it does produce braking torque. Okay, so during the acceleration as an induction motor, we not supposed to apply the DC supply. What it will be happens, it will not produce the motoring torque, it will be produce braking torque. Okay, so DC field should be applied only after the motor has reached close to full speed. Okay, so this is the third point. Okay, fourth one is when motor has salient pole construction, damper winding can have conductors only over the pole arc. This leads to a dip in the speed torque curve. So as in salient pole construction of rotor, so what it will be happens, that damper winding can have only over the pole arc. Hence what it will be happens, the dip in the speed torque curve at half of the synchronous speed. Okay, so last fifth one is when started with full supply voltage, the starting current can be 7 to 10 times. Okay, 7 to 10 times of the full load value. Okay, so in a small size motor, such a high starting current causes fluctuation in supply. In case of large size motors, such high starting current may cause a large drop in terminal voltage. Okay, this it will be causes because during the starting, thus reducing the already low starting torque further. Okay. So here the starting current can be reduced by employing any one of the reduced voltage starting method employed for induction motor. So here the reduction in the starting current is obtained at the expense of reduction in starting torque. Okay, so as in the method of starting of induction motor I have discussed, so what it will be happens, if you are going for reduced voltage, the torque also, starting torque also it will be reduces. Okay. So the next point is that transition to full voltage can be made before or after the pull-in. So whether this is question will be arise that the full voltage can be made before or after the pull-in process. Okay, so what it will be there here, the former is prepared because full voltage is prepared here. So why means with full voltage the speed attained as induction motor is closer to the synchronous speed. So yes, full voltage it will be nearer to the synchronous speed, so that we can easily with a less oscillation, with less hunting, we can achieve the synchronous speed. Rotor will be catch the stator poles and it will be runs in a synchronous speed. Hence the former one means the full voltage is prepared, and second one is the pull-in torque increases. Okay, pull-in torque increases in proportion to the voltage squared. Consequently, pull-in can achieve faster and larger motor load. So this is the another one. Hence the former one is prepared. Okay. With this I conclude this session. Okay. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.